interesting. Okay, looks like I'm live. Looks like I am live. For all of you people that are used to watching me. But anyway, thank you for joining me. Those of you that are watching me on Facebook, I would love some stars. If you're watching me on TikTok, tap that screen for me, please. And I appreciate all of that. So I'm talking about goddess energy. Today is Tuesday, and I come on for Tuesday healing chats. And I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about goddess energy because that is the energy that I am working with right now. So there are so many different goddesses that you can connect with, so many different ones that you can work with, especially as a healer. One of the ones that I connect with and that I work with is Isis. One of the reasons why I love to work with Isis is because she is the goddess that reconnects us with our innate healing powers. And so she's the one that helps you with the healing powers that you have inside of you already, because we all have them. So, I call myself an intuitive healer, an intuitive channeler, all of those things. And so we have those inside of us. And so the goddess Isis helps us to connect to those healing powers. And so many healers love her. I mean, if you talk about her in that community, you will get a lot of love and a lot of respect. She supports everyone's quest to reclaim their individual power and take responsibility for their healing journey. Because typically, a lot of times we are really good at giving away our power. And so one of the things that she helps us do is to connect to that particular power and those healing abilities. She empowers us to use the healing power of love, and gratitude to raise the energy levels of our body by connecting to source. And that is one of the reasons why I love working with this particular goddess. Now, there are many goddesses that you can connect with, but for me, I connect a lot with the goddess Isis because she came to me in a dream. And also the goddess Hathor, who is another goddess that came to me in a dream. And the thing is goddess Hathor and goddess Isis kind of are interchangeable sometimes in mythology or in history. Hathor was a major goddess in ancient Egyptian religion who played a wide variety of roles as a sky deity. She was also the mother or consort of the sky god Horus and the sun god Ra. And the thing about Hathor that I love is that she has the ability to bring blessings and prosperity. She also has the ability to predict the future. She also has the ability to provide protection and guidance to those who invoke her. The ability to fully nurture an individual and the whole population. The ability to cater for the people and bring laughter and joy. She also has power over women's issues such as fertility, beauty, childbirth, and love. There are many people that will invoke her when they are having fertility issues. I have heard this before. Matter of fact, I heard it years ago, and at that time I wasn't really sure about that. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for joining. Will you get married this year? Let me see. I can tune into that. I'm hearing no. Do you have a person that you're already with? Is that why you're asking? Many times when people ask these type of questions, they already pretty much know, but you just need a confirmation. But that was what I heard. But they also have power over anything having to do with women's problems, with conception or childbirth, to health and beauty, to matters of the heart. Just want a family already. Got you. Okay? So show you. So you're working on that. So what? You're 38. Oh yeah. You got to work on that. Even though women are having babies later, that is one thing. Women are having babies later. But you want to begin to make your list. If you haven't made a list already, make a list. Mrs. Malik, make a list. Start making a list. Write down the things that you desire in a partner. Whatever it is that you want, start writing it down and start really putting it before your spiritual team. I was going to say God, source, universe, whatever it is that you identify with as your higher power. But start putting it before. You can do that. It's in your pillowcase. Okay. Then make sure that you are continuing to speak it out as well. Because I'm going to tell you, one of the things that I did in order to attract my soulmate is I wrote the things down, and I did the same thing. I put it in my pillowcase, and then I took it and I put it up on the mirror so that I could see it and so I could read it every single day. Hey, Sean, thank you for joining. But every single day I started just reading it, and I put it on the mirror, and then I even made a copy of it and put it on the refrigerator. So all the places that you're going to go, because you're going to go get something to eat, you're going to go look in the mirror, hopefully before you finish, getting yourself together. And so you want to put it there so that you can see it, so that you can begin to call it in. And the other part is make sure that you are staying in a positive vibrations about that thing. So you don't want to start, being all nasty and negative, wanting to, yeah, you already know. Typically, if I'm going to go live, I'm going to do it big. I'm going to make sure that I'm maximizing the people. But yeah, so what you want to do, Mrs. Malik, is you want to make sure that you're putting it in front of you so that you're seeing it. And then also, you got to start, if you're not going places and trying to, meet people, because, typically they don't come to your door unless they are UPS or Amazon or something. And, those people be stealing. So you got to be careful. I feel like if you take those steps, that it will show up for you. But I believe it's like, yeah, because we're in June. I mean, it could happen this year, but I didn't see that. That's not what they told me when I asked that question. So let me see. It's going to happen for her next year. Yes. So start doing those things. Start moving toward, getting that. And make sure that, yes, you got to go out unless you go online and meet people. I mean, how are you going to meet people? You're going to meet people. They don't typically show up at your door, like I said, unless they are, Amazon. I mean, I'm talking about anywhere. Okay, so I met my husband in church. We were both visiting this church. I didn't go to that church. He didn't either. We were both visiting and we met there. And that was what? Free 99. So, and I actually met and dated a few guys before I met my husband, like in the store. Like I met a guy in the grocery store. I met a guy in the Dollar Tree. I met a guy in the mall, different things, different places. And those things didn't cost me anything. Of course, I also met ones in clubs. I also met them, driving down the street. But yeah, so you can do that. You just need to, like I said, be directed and also stay positive. Don't put nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. Why do you feel like anything's wrong with you? Nothing wrong with you. The thing is it happens when it happens, and it happens in God's timing. It's not always our timing. We don't always have the time. It's possible that, you were meeting the wrong people. You just never know. Every girl got a man. Every girl don't have a man. There's lots of girls that don't have a man. I know that it feels like that when you're going through that, but that's not the case. So anyway, I was talking about goddess energy. So that is another thing that you might want to connect with, because the goddess Hathor brings blessings and prosperity. Goddess Aphrodite is one of the goddesses of love, and so is the goddess of Isis. I know you're just saying, and it's okay. And sometimes we feel that way, but you got to shift your vibration some kind of way. Like start doing things that make you happy, whatever the hell that is, whatever you can do in that arena. So like, I'm going to say for me, I love taking baths. That makes me happy as hell. I love going to the beach. That makes me happy, and those are things that don't cost money, so you have to consider that and think about that. And then the other thing is, are you putting yourself out there, putting yourself out there so that you can, meet people? Okay. You love the gym. That's a good place. That's a good place. There are usually lots of dudes, in the gym, out there. And there are a lot of them that are looking for good women, and so That's kind of what you have to do. I mean, the thing is once you put yourself in that place and you begin to really call that person in, and I'm really speaking it out. If you have to speak into the mirror, because that is one thing too. And I know that works. Begin to speak into the mirror, because when you speak into the mirror, you're speaking to yourself and you're speaking to your higher self. So speak into the mirror. I'm looking for blah, blah, blah. I want him to look like this, or I want him to look like that, or I want him to be this, I want him to be that. For me, one of the things that I said after I was divorced from my first husband was that when I got ready to well, then he wasn't the one. Don't get bogged down in it. Don't get bogged down. Just keep going. And the thing is once you start doing that and you just start putting yourself out there, and what it is you put a whole lot into one person, it's difficult, because like I said, if he disappeared, then he probably wasn't ready for a relationship, because so many men are not ready. And the thing is a lot of us women marry these men that aren't ready, and then when it falls apart, you wonder why. But why is because he wasn't ready, and you knew that when you started. Because one thing about a man, he's going to tell you what he wants and who he is. He's going to tell you. Many times they tell us, but we ignore it. Or we say, oh, but I really want him, or I can help him change, or something like that. And that's a whole bunch of bullshit. I'm going to tell you that already, straight out. You can't change a man. He has to be there. You know what I mean? You can't do that. It's not going to work. I promise you, I've tried. The thing about it is they make you think that you can build a man just like build a bear, but that's not it. The other part too is you don't want to be chasing after a man. That's really not our job. You don't want to be chasing after him, because if you start the relationship off chasing after him, that's all you're going to do is chase after them. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. So what you want to do is, because I can feel you have like some type of anxiety already about that thing. And I know how that feels because I've been through it. I've been through it. But you have to chill down on the anxiety. He said he's busy, and I said, stay focused and hydrated. Okay, yeah. And that's what Sean was saying. He said, we are the hunter, let us chase you. And that is really what it is. That's it. A lot of women are doing the chasing these days. And you know what? I mean, if that's what you want to do. But then the other part too is, are you going to always chase? Are you going to put yourself out there as, like Sean said, that somebody who is worth it? And I'm going to share, one thing that I told my husband now. We were living together. We had met at church, as I said, and we were living together. And I said to him one day, and I didn't know if I was going to lose him. I didn't know if he was going to take off. I didn't know. But I said to him, I said, listen, I am not going to be your girlfriend forever. I am an old-fashioned girl. I am not, 20 years old. I wasn't at that time. I'm still in my 40s. And I said, so what I'm looking for is marriage. So if you're not ready to marry me, or you're not wanting to marry me, then let me go, and let me go find somebody else, and you do whatever you do, or let me allow somebody to find me, and so that actually, he actually tells that story to people. He actually tells that story to people just to let them know that, when you have a woman that, knows who she is and knows what she wants, then you have to think about that. You have to think about that. And you can have your own children. You're still young enough. I talked to a girl the other day. I think she was 42 when she had a baby, her only. She only had one. And then I met another young lady. She was 45 and she had 2 little babies. So she had them at like, I don't know, 42, 43, 44, something. But she had 2 little babies. So, you can have them. You just have to make a decision and believe in yourself, and know that you are worth it. And don't take down. That is such problems. We do that. We take down, because we're worth it to have a good man. We really are. Yeah, and you can have 2 babies. I would advise, if you were going to do that, to have them back to back as soon as you get married, or as soon as y'all get together, or however y'all want to do it. I'm not telling anybody, what to do, how to do, but for me, I'm old. Like I said, I'm old fashioned. I'm not going to be sitting around here with you for 10, 12, 15 years, and you ain't married me. That's just not for me. Now, other people, I'm not judgmental. You do what you do. And I have no issue with it, but like I said, as for me and my house, if you're going to be in here, taking care of business, then you're going to be taking care of business. You're also going to be, I'm going to be married because that is what I wanted. Yeah, twins the thing about twins is, people say that twins would be great before they have them, especially if you haven't had one yet, because I'm going to tell you, woo, I know people with twins, and yes, it is great to get them both out of the way. But the other thing is, Lord Jesus, you got to deal with that thing until they get older, because I think it's hard, especially going to breastfeed. Like I breastfed my oldest, and I wanted to breastfeed my youngest, but I couldn't do it. I was sick. I almost died with him. And so the thing is, breastfeeding two babies, oh Lord, or trying to feed them. Oh, I don't even know how that works, but it is an option. It is something that, you can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to just thank God for your husband and for your family. We're just going to thank God for your husband and for your family. And I'm going to send you some healing right now. I'm going to send you some healing. We're calling her family and her husband right now. Shina maseke nini moso koro masakataya. Ilalabo so koro masaya. Iseke lo koro bosiala la manana saka. Thank you. 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 So now the point of it is you got to know it. You got to know it. So that is your homework, is you know it. You know it. And the thing is when you really, 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 really dive into it and you know it, and you start to embody these goddesses, I'm telling you, you embody these goddesses. It's something about doing that is it makes stuff like spring up out of you so that you can attract what you're looking for. You can, begin to see those people coming towards you. And so that you'll begin to even know who it is, because you're old enough now and you probably have had different relationships enough to know what you don't want. So now what it is, just know what you do want and stop focusing on what's wrong with you, because there's nothing wrong with you. Nothing wrong with you. Stop focusing on that. Just kick that off. Like take it out your mouth and just drop kick it and let it just go. Let it just float on. That's what you do. You take it out your mouth and you just drop kick it and let it float on. Yes, yes, yes. So super grateful to be here talking about all of this type of energy. Whoa, that just got. Yeah. That's a whole thing. So you don't want that. You don't want controlling, you want supportive, and you want somebody that's good to you and somebody that loves you. And for me, one of the things that I said was I wanted a man who loved God, because I felt like if a man loved God, then God would show him how to love me. Because that was one of the things that I felt like I was missing in my first marriage, was that my ex did not really know how to love me. And so what I did was I put that out there into the universe, and I told God, I had conversations. You can do that. I have conversations with God. I mean, we should all do that. But I do on a daily basis and many, many times in a day. But I had a conversation with God and I said, I want a man that loves God, because here's the thing. My husband loves God. And so God shows him how to love me. God tells him, what to do for me, how to support me, because he is the most supportive man that I've ever had. And he is my soulmate. And he's the one that, tell people that he loves me like Christ loved the church. And so that was another thing that I said. I said, I want a man that loves me like Christ loved the church. And yes, you should ask for that. Because here's the thing. And this is the other part too, y'all. I said, I didn't want a religious man because I wasn't down with that, because I don't do religion. I love God, but religion I don't do. And so I wanted a man that loved God and not, super deep into religion, because that's a whole nother horse of another color. I've already done that and been there. Didn't want it. And that was enough. That was another thing. And you say you don't want a controlling man. So what you want to do is you don't want to focus on what you don't want. Because here's the thing. The thing is you focus on something that you don't want, then you will get what you don't want. Why am I saying that? Because I know that. That's not something I read in a book. That's something that I am telling you because I have been through that shit. I have been through it. So I know. So you want to focus on a man that is supportive and that loves you and that loves God. I mean, if that's your area, because, I'm not pushing anybody there, but I'm just saying, I know that works. I know it does because in truth, I believe that my grandfather handpicked my husband from the grave because he is so much like him. And even in the way that he treats me, because I don't know if y'all know, but my grandfather treated me like a little princess always, even when I was grown. He still treated me like a princess. And so that was something that I got used to, and so I knew that any man that I was with had to treat me at least that good, and I didn't have that the first time. I mean, he wasn't horrible, but, he didn't treat me like a queen. You know what I mean? And so that's what I knew that I had to have. And so I, took some steps back and I said, okay, after I got divorced and stuff, I took some steps back and I said, okay, what do I want? What do I want? And it took me a while. It took me a little while to sit down and actually put it down and stop thinking about what I didn't want, because that was really the driving force, because I knew, I didn't want a whorish man because I had that one already before. I already had that one done. That box was checked. Didn't want any more of those. I didn't want a lying man. That box was checked. Didn't want any more of those. I didn't want a controlling man. That box was checked. Didn't want any more of those. You see what I'm saying? So when I put that out there and I said, I don't, and then I began to realize that because I was saying, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want that. Same thing with career. A lot of people are looking to change careers, looking to start their own business and all that. And you think about what you don't want. Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to work there. I don't want to work like that. I don't want to do that kind of work. But the thing is what do you want? That is the key, and that is important. What do you want? So as you take time to get out here and, listen to the spirit, listen to your higher self, listen to your God consciousness, whatever it is that you want to call him, her, or them, your higher power. But listen, 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 listen. Because you know what? We all get guidance. Most of the time we ignore it. Most of us ignore it. But we get it every single day. It's like God speaks to us every day in different ways. If you going into that job and, you get stressed out, or you get angry every time you go, or you can't, you don't want to, every time you get ready to walk in the door, your anxiety goes out off the chart and stuff like that, then that job ain't for you. It's not for you. And that's a period. Even though, I'm not telling anybody to quit their jobs. No, no, no. Now I had to, because mine was killing me. It was what I was called to do, and if you like it, then keep it moving. Do your thing, and then any other part too is, now I always say this, I tell people this all the time. I am not a proponent of working with getting people where you work. I'm not a proponent of that, because I I just don't believe in, and I'm gonna have a little foul language. So I think it's 18 and over here, but I'm gonna have a little foul language. But I don't believe in eating where I shit and shitting where I eat. I just don't believe in that, because that a lot of times it just don't work out. Sometimes it does, but most times it don't. I was always so anxious because my boss made me feel dumb. Right. And you don't need to be around that type of environment anyway, because it sounds like your boss was a narcissist. And those people are awful. I mean, to me, why would you want to work with somebody that you thought was dumb? That's crazy. That would make good sense. But the good thing is, if you have a job now that you like, oh, what's wild? You said she was horrible. I had one of those too. But they fired me before I could quit. I was on my way to quit, but they fired me. But it was my boss because she was such a nasty, nasty, nasty bitch. And I just, and the thing is I know what she wanted. She wanted me to kiss her butt, but that ain't my, that's not my thing. You try suing them? Yeah, I got you. That's a lot of energy. But yeah, I'm not, I was like, I'm not that person. I'm not kissing nobody's butt because that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to do a job and otherwise get on. Yep, that is a thing. And you know what's wild is that's the same thing that happened to me as far as she was hating on me and acting racist. But the thing is, y'all, guess what? She looked like me. That was the thing. She just was from some place in the middle of the country. And she just didn't like me because, I have a beautiful spirit and my patients all love me. So, but they all hated her because she was an evil thing. So yeah, but when you're in that type of situation, you got to get out of there. And I tell people all the time, I'm like, now I'm not telling you to go quit your job tomorrow, but I'm saying if you're in a job that you hate or something where they're abusing you or mistreating you or whatever, then you got to start putting your ducks in a row and making plans. Start squirreling away some money, putting it to the side, go apply for another job, because typically for me, when I would quit jobs, see, and that's a blessing. That is a blessing that people are nice and supportive because we need that. Work is already hard, and what you do is you just start calling it forth. Start calling forth what you desire, what it is that you want. That's what you have to do. You have to start calling it forth and trust. If you like this job, then call it. Say, I would love to stay at this job. Blah 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 blah. And then make sure, of course, that you are, a good worker and all that other kind of stuff, because that makes a difference as well. You want power? You got power, girl. You are powerful. That's why we on here talking about this goddess energy, because this goddess energy is powerful. I'm talking about Isis, which, she was so amazing. They say that she could be a goddess of love. She's a goddess of healing powers, all of those things. She also is one that supports everyone's quest to reclaim their individual power and take responsibility for their healing journey. So if you want financial wealth and financial freedom, then you got to begin to continue to speak that thing. Speak what you desire. And then also, is anybody doing anybody done the 369 where you write on the paper 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times before you go to bed? Make sure that you are connecting with your breath when you do it, and then write, okay, I'm gonna give you an example. I don't want to be a millionaire because I already am one. So you want to say, I don't want to have financial wealth and financial freedom because I already have it. So that's what you want to do. You want to write that thing out like 3 times and in the morning, and then write it again 6 times in the evening and 9 times at night. And they say do that for 3 days. And so what I've been doing is I've been messing up, y'all, because I've been doing okay, I'll say it again. So you want to do the 369 method. And this was one I learned, recently, this new way, because there's all kind of ways you can do it. But I like this way because what you do is you say what you want, but you say, I don't want that. And then you say, because I already have it. Because see, what it is you are putting yourself in that vibration where you already have that thing and you're just speaking it and you're writing it down, and it's like, it's not only speaking to you, but it's speaking to the universe as well. So it's like you're putting it out there. I don't want to be a millionaire because I already am one. Okay. I don't want financial wealth and freedom because I already am. I already have it. I'm already financially wealthy and financially free. Right? Does that make sense? So do it 3 times. Write it down. I have a notebook where I write it in. So you write it 3 times. And then you write it again around noontime, and I do it different times because I'm not often up early in the morning. I don't hardly do some mornings I do early, but not much. So what you want to do is you say, you want to do it like this because this is what is going to shift you. Because many times we want financial wealth and financial freedom because we don't believe that we have them. We don't believe we have them. And that is why we say, I want. But when you start saying, I don't want to have financial wealth and financial freedom because I already have it, it's going to shift the vibration for you. You already have it. You already have it. So it's going to shift the vibrations for you. It's going to move the needle, I promise you, because that's something that I have been doing, just to shift those vibrations within me, because yes. Yes, that's why I'm sharing. I try to share stuff that I learned because I'm not trying to hold anything back and keep things from people. I ain't trying to do that because I know, we all need help in different areas. And if I can, be the change I want to see, it's going to work for me too. Yeah. And that's what you put down. You want a financially stable husband. Exactly. That's what you put down. You write that down. I don't want a financially stable husband because I already have him. And that to me is almost like that. I feel like that sets rockets out into the universe, just to show you and tell you. And being alone, yeah. That's I don't know. I can empathize with you, but I can't really understand it because I don't think I've ever been alone. It's just because I was 19 when I got married. Yeah. And then 21 and 22 when I had my babies. So yeah, I don't even know how that would feel. I was alone for such a short time, but I did enjoy that time. But just because I was never alone. So, I know that's a different type of situation, but especially, since the pandemic, because so many people were living isolated and that had to be very difficult, especially if you couldn't go out or whatever. And, we weren't going anywhere. Everybody was scared to even go out the door and scared to go to the grocery store and all that stuff. Your family don't reach out to see if you're okay. Yeah, what I'm going to tell you is you want to find some communities because that really will be helpful for you. Exactly. Find some communities that you can go into. Even like Facebook groups are really good. Like I have some that I've met some beautiful people in. Because my family is across the country and and some of them we just don't contact. We just don't have a lot of contact all the time. Of course, like my mama, I talk to my daddy and stuff like that and my sister, but we just don't always have a lot of contact and sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not, but it's just according to how it works for you. So what you want to do is you want to like, and I always say this, and I hate to say it like this, but it's the only way I can think of to say it. But you want to stay out of the desperate energy, because you want that. But what you want to do is you want to put yourself in that place. I'm telling you, there are so many techniques that you can use to help to put you in that place where you're ready to receive. And that's another thing I want you to say every day is I'm open to receive. I'm open to receive. Every day I want you to say that. I'm open to receive because it helps, excuse me. Oh, I gotta get some water. I've been talking for 30 minutes. It helps God source universe to help you in bringing those things into your awareness, bringing that stuff out of the vortex and into your awareness. And that is one of the things that I believe is so key to getting the manifestations that you desire, especially those ones like that, because so many people put so much emphasis in it. But the other thing too is you want to start having fun. You want to start having fun. Like, are you dating at all? If you're not dating, you might want to start there. If you're not, a lot of people don't want to do online dating, but I know some people that, met their husbands or their wives online and they have good relationships. Matter of fact, one of my good friends, she met her husband on, I think Match or something like that. And she was actually about to get off. And this is another, let me tell this testimony. So she had met all kinds of people. and hadn't met anybody that she really connected with. And so, yeah, I know that's why I was sharing. She had met all kinds of people that she, hadn't connected with. And then when she was about to get off the app, and this guy popped up. And so, exactly, don't tell them you live alone. Don't meet them anywhere. Meet them in a public place, like in a park or a restaurant or something like that. Don't ever tell them you live alone, and don't ever meet them after you've already met them. I mean, don't allow them to come to your house. I can't even lie. When I was on those dating apps, I did not let any of them come to my house. No. I met them at public places, like at a restaurant or something, because I was not playing those games, especially when my kids were still at home. I was like, no, you're not coming here. And I just didn't believe in that. I would even like meet them, like if we were going someplace out, I would meet them like at Walmart and leave my car and then ride with them like that. So yeah, I know what you're saying. But she was getting ready to get off the app. She's getting ready to get off, and she was like, I'm done, blah, blah, blah. And she met her husband, the one that is her husband now. And I think they got married, within 3 months. So it was right on and perfect. But you see what I'm saying? She was at the point where she was done. She had shut it down. She didn't have any expectations. And then she met her dude. So I thought it was so perfect. It was so amazing when she shared the story with me, because when people are, it's almost like people can feel that desperate energy. They can feel it, and so they'll come and they'll turn on the shine and all this stuff. And then a lot of times, you just you suck it in, and the next thing you know, you got some nut. so you want to basically, chill out from that, get yourself together, do whatever it is that you need to do, take a cold shower if before you go out and all that kind of stuff, so that you're not looking hungry and all this other kind of thing. Where do I think? I don't know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't have that information today. However, I don't know, because where do you go? Like, do you go places? Are you doing anything? Because the thing is there's all kind of things you can do. They have singles mixers and stuff out there. I've been seeing them lately. I never have partaken of that kind of thing because I just wasn't in that energy. But there are singles meetings and stuff like that, and meetups and all kinds of stuff that you can do. You can go to concerts. You can go to museums. Like, I actually met a man in an art museum one time. And I went out on a few dates with him. He wasn't my person, but we had a good time. He was a really nice guy. So I met him at an art museum. So, the thing is take yourself out the box and take the limits off of you, and where you meet people, and, how you meet people and all this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because, you never know. You might go on one of those apps and meet one of those guys. Now, I wouldn't suggest Tinder because, that's that app that, them girls got killed. They met people on that. But then there are other couples that met on Tinder that, did okay. So, I can't even judge that. But I'm saying just be very careful if you are on those apps, like I would never, ever let them come to my house, and I would never go to theirs, not until after we met each other and have been dating or something like that. But no, typically I'm going to meet them out in public, someplace like in a restaurant where there are people, lots of them. That's how we're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, so you want to, be safe and use your common sense through all of that. All right. So I think that it's about time for me to exit this chat, because I have been on here for almost 40 minutes. I think I've been doing this. And let me just say one more thing about these goddesses, because that was really what I came on here to talk about. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you, Ms. Malik. I appreciate you, and I know that you have somebody coming for you. But like I said, just do those things that I told you to do. Make sure that you are, putting it out there. You're speaking it. You are keeping yourself in that vibration so that you're not desperate, because I'm telling you, they can pick that thing up. They pick it up. So But you want to do that. And then you want to make sure that you are connecting with your source. Make sure you're connecting with God, source, energy, and all that kind of stuff. And yes, stop focusing on that alone stuff. Stop focusing on it. Start focusing on good things, what you desire. Start having fun doing fun things, because that's another thing. Once you start having fun and you start, putting yourself out there in that way, then you can meet some people as well. But you want to start doing that. You want to start, because you got to shift your vibration so that you can feel good all the time. Because you never know where you'll meet them. You might meet them in the grocery store. You might go to Costco's or wherever you shop. Safeway, those are stores I shop at, but Safeway or, Winco or wherever, you never know. You might be going to a thrift store and meet somebody and see somebody, because newsflash, rich people shop in thrift stores a lot of times. You would never know. But that's something you got to think about it. And you want to kind of start, basically really renewing your mind on that thing so that that person is coming. You know that they're here, they're coming, they're matched, but they have to be a match for your energy. So you want your energy to be high so that they can be high, a match. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. And then you get your family, but the thing about it is you can always, you don't have to wait to have kids to have, that's just a whole nother thing too. But, I'm not telling anybody to do that either, because I believe in that. I was married before I had mine, and I believe in that. But that was just me. And that was something that I committed to based on, my history, and so everybody is different. Everybody thinks differently. And to me, I'm like the Pope. Who am I to judge? But definitely I will pop back on here again. I'll be back on tomorrow, because tomorrow's Wednesday. Yes, I'll be back on tomorrow. And we'll talk some more. I'm going to do some more guidance if other people will pop in and come on. I love to do that. And I love to, try to tap in to see what kind of guidance I can bring, and so anyway, but that's what I have for you today. I appreciate you. Thank you for the follows. Nobody did no likes. Okay, so I'll make sure I remember to tell people that tomorrow, because I'm not thinking about that, but I'm working on myself, y'all, with these lives. I'm also, I also have a clubhouse room too. So I'll be putting that up there and sharing about my clubhouse room as well, because I've got to revitalize it, because I need to get back in there, because I think I have about 4 people tell me I needed to go in clubhouse. So I was like, okay, all right. That sounds like guidance to me. So I'm going to go back in clubhouse as well and do a club. I also have a sister circle meetup on Meetup that I'm going to be putting out some circles as well for women. So be on the lookout for that. And so I hope that if you guys, would like to have a chance to just get in a Zoom room and, talk about these type of things. There's a couple of different ways I was thinking of doing it. Some of it just some guidance, also some journey meditations as well. So that is another thing that I am doing. But again, thank you so much for joining. I also have a podcast. If you are a spiritual entrepreneur and you would like to come on my show, Straight Outta Savannah, I am taking applications for that now. I also do private sessions. I also do private healing sessions. I do activations, invoking the goddesses. I have that particular thing going as well. So if those are things that you are looking for, if you are on your spiritual journey and you are looking for mentoring or mentorship, I do that as well. So anyway, so those are some of the ways that you can work with me. Again, thank you so much for joining. You know what? And I'm also, okay. So anyway, thank y'all for joining and hanging out with me. I will be back on tomorrow and we will hang out again. So thank you for joining, and thank y'all for the follows, the likes, and all the things. All right. Have a wonderful evening. Bye now.